Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. I'm your host, Big Easy, joined by the face of Still Talking, Uncle Joey. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Always joined. I don't want to say always, but most of the time, joined by Master Stiller Sean Rixby. He is who he is. We still love him, though.
Sometimes it's hard to, I'd say.
It is. It is. Down in the bottom right hand corner, old man Matt Lemasters. In case you didn't know, I'll give Matt this one off. But welcome to the show, Bob.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for that intro.
My bad. I let Matt slide on that one.
I was thinking about like a drum roll, like Johnny Carson or something like that. But
it's the anticipation. It's the anticipation. But
right.
our special guest, Bob Folck from Folck Winery in Mechanicsburg, Ohio. If you haven't been there, you need to go.
Yes.
The 3 out of the 4 went yesterday. It was Sunday, man. I woke up and was like, fuck the world today. It's one of them days, man. I just didn't put on pants. I sat in the chair like, yeah. That and y'all a little closer to me. It's almost an hour for me to get there next time. But
We could have come to the house and rode with me.
There you go.
You're not any closer, man. It's 45 minutes to get to Matt's house.
That'd have been a 30-minute drive, 45-minute drive.
Shit.
You and Sean could have rode in on the bean together.
There you go.
Hey, if Sean's going to double me, I'll ride. But on the handlebars, though. I'm not riding on the back.
For the
I'm
looks,
not riding
I
on
would
the back.
gladly do that.
So I'll ride on the handlebars. All right, so before we get started, we're going to start the show off with how we've started off since our first show, often imitated, never duplicated. What you drinking on? What you drinking on over there, Sean? You ruined this.
Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
Blackberry, you say?
Oh.
Yep.
Fancy.
That'd probably be good with some clear stuff in it.
It probably would.
Nah, you ruined the clear stuff. Just clear stuff by itself.
True.
Hey, so still talking. What you drinking on over there?
You're talking to me.
Yeah, the face.
The face, Uncle Joey.
Well, me and the wife went down to our local brewery Saturday morning, so I drank Saturday morning, and then we spent the afternoon with Bob out at his place, so I drank Sunday. So I'm going to do my liver a favor, and I'm going to fill up this cup with water, and I'm going to sip this water this evening and give myself a break tonight.
Your liver is going to get weak.
Sometimes you got to dry out.
Yeah, probably a good thing.
Oh, I got my good old jungle juice. I ain't ever going to run out of this stuff.
Oh, is that the stuff from Farm to Bottle?
Is that strawberry stuff?
Yeah.
I'd like to see old Bob at Farm to Bottle this year. That'd be awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Good Ohio event, So if you don't, when we was at Farm to Bottle, Lemasters gets there and he makes this 3-gallon batch of he calls it jungle juice. we 5 gallon, my bad. And like for me, we call it Harry Buffalo. He just everything he's got fruit in a bin, and he sets it up over here. And I'm like, bro, you gotta take that over where the party is. And he's like, I figured he would later on, but him and Sean didn't make it to later on. Neither did Uncle Joey.
Well, he made this stuff in this jug, didn't put any ice in it, and it's like 90 degrees out.
It is 90 degrees.
It was warm.
It's always warm.
It was like jungle soup.
Yeah.
It was jungle soup. So
what are you drinking, Bob?
I'm yet to get anything. I need to maybe get my assistant and have him get me something.
That's what a good assistant does.
That's right.
Keeps you liquored.
Out of what you make,
I don't know what it's going to be yet. Well, here we go. She's popping the top. Some sweet honky tonk.
Do you have a favorite?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite of what you make, Bob?
Now, everybody asks that, and I give the same generic question. They're all my children, so you can't,
And
Can't take
even
one over the other.
you still got a favorite kid. It's just natural.
On a given day, it might be something different in the morning, but
That's right.
It's
You know
sweet
what I'm
honky
saying?
tonk right now. So
Nice.
Hey,
That's
that's a
good
good
stuff.
one. That's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And exactly what is that?
well, sweet honky tonk. It's actually our first grape wine we brought to the farm, and it's a Catawba grape. So we're near Catawba and Catawba Station, Ohio. So a lot of Catawba type grapes were grown here in the mid 1800s to Prohibition. And then the Prohibition, of course, took out all the grapes. But it was the most popular grape back in the 1800s was Catawba grape. Just so happens we call it sweet honky tonk. So local favorite.
Nice.
I can see why. It got a real nice flavor.
Man, it's a solid bottle. Not too
Mhm.
sweet. Not. It's got a little dry to it. It's got something on the back end that it's. I don't know. It's good. It's a solid
Mhm.
wine.
Well, thanks. No, it's a lot of fun, and we like to think that this is what sweet honky tonk. When people come here, I tell them, this is what people had back in the 1800s when this country was getting founded. This is what they drank. Other than the hard liquor like you guys are talking about. But yeah,
Now, there at your winery, you grow everything there, don't you? Or
yeah,
most
just
everything?
about everything. We're just getting our grape production going. We hope to have our grape production here steaming up here in the next couple of years. But we've got some vineyards we're working with where we're getting some grapes from and making juice out of that. But the majority of the products we have started with the strawberries, blackberries,
Mhm.
black raspberries, and red raspberries. And we've been in that called small fruit production the past, well, over 20 years, almost 25 years now.
Nice.
So, yeah, so it's just kind of branched off of that. Kids left. We needed, to downsize. And so the downsizing made us more busy with the winery. How about that? So it's pretty good.
So, have you always been a big fan of wine, or was that something you acquired later on in life, or
Well,
what was your?
yeah, that's well, I was a beer drinker early on in life, like most of us, college, drank a lot of beer, hardly drank any wine at all. It wasn't until I met my wife and she wasn't too much, she didn't really like beer, so she had wine occasionally, and we bought it by the box and drank it by the box. And then I think I was telling you all about one of you all about the story. I lived up in Wisconsin for 2 years, and a gentleman that was my boss up there, uh, he owned a winery, so I learned some stuff off of him, and it was pretty cool for the 2 years I was up there. So kind of got a little bit more of the wine bug when I was with him. So
Well, you learned well. I really enjoyed everything I tried.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Appreciate it. Totally.
Nobody
do.
enjoyed it more than Shelly, though.
Nobody enjoyed it more than Shelley. And it's kind of crazy. I'm not a wine drinker by any means, and even some of the stuff that I don't necessarily say that I would drink a lot of, it's still good wine. I mean, you make a really good product there. You can tell it's quality fruit and a love and effort that's put into those bottles. It really is.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, always when we were doing this a couple years ago, I always say too, it's like, well, what comes or what's the most important thing? Is it art or is it science? Because it takes a lot of science to do all this stuff that all of us do. I mean, that's a bunch of science, but at the end of the day, it's the art of it, and it's our interpretation on these products that either we're distilling or fermentating.
Well, you said it's your art. That's your canvas. That
Yeah,
fruit,
there you go,
that
baby.
yeast,
Mhm.
that water, that bottle, just everything. That's your art. You know what I'm saying? Those are your tools. That's your paint. You're painting your picture, and you're painting the
Exactly.
best picture that you can with what
Yeah.
you have in front of you. You know, whether you're making wine, you're making liquor at home, you're running a you're running a small distillery. You know, we're all striving for quality. You know, the best thing we can put. You know what I'm saying? Now, you ever ferment and distill any of your pomace? You ever reuse your pressings?
Yeah,
And re-ferment them and
we
turn it into
yeah
like
we
a hit.
yeah we tried to do some of that. It's probably we don't use that as wine, of course, but
Yeah.
in your case, yeah, that would be a affirmative. How about that?
Mhm. Yes.
And it's and we've had some the strawberry, blackberry, just about the red raspberries. It rocks pretty good, and then we also had some peach, and the peach, yeah, everybody loves peach, but it's a lot different. You know, it's not that artificial peach stuff like you get.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, for sure.
it's real. It's
Real
real.
peach.
And,
Yeah, nothing like fresh. It's,
well,
So I
all
have
of
a
it's
qu-
real, but I just want to say the peach is really, man,
Mhm.
it comes out real
Yeah.
flavorful.
yes,
So
there's I noticed like I've fermented canned peaches and fermented fresh peaches, and even after the end of the distillate, you can taste the difference in the distillate from the difference from the fresh to the can, and it's wild. But you know, it's for me, it's all about fresh. I prefer fresh fruit and everything, whether I'm making mixed drinks afterwards and or concoctions, and I'm all about introducing that fresh fruit because it just gives it that nice, real flavor that you just
Yeah.
can't fake.
yeah, I
So
I
I have a
totally agree
question
with
for the
you.
both of you guys here. So when you guys are making, like, say, you're getting your fruit going to get your base going, if you were turning that into a brandy compared to a wine, are there different yeast you would use for you to make it to a wine compared to what he would make it to turn it into a brandy? Or
Yeah,
can you
that's
use the
where
same
that's where
yeast?
you guys are probably a little ahead of me, but we're using basically the same stock,
Mhm.
from that.
Mhm.
But I from the samples that I've taken, yeah, I think there's a difference, between what they would use or, uh, as a yeast compared to what I use.
Yep.
And I think that's one of my things that my wines kind of sets apart. And I think everybody does. They have their own blend of yeast that they're using and things like that in their winery or in their
Nice.
wine products. And I think that's what makes each individual winemaker so much, yeah, different.
Well,
So is
and
that
there's
something? Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Sean.
I was just say, yeah, there's a big difference. I mean, when you're essentially
Mhm.
making wine to drink, and or you're making wine to distill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if you're making the wine to drink, then you really want to put a lot of you want to use a good wine yeast, I would assume.
Mhm. Yep.
As to where if you're making it to distill, I mean, you
Doesn't
can use
matter.
bread yeast, whatever
Yep.
you want.
Yep. So if
True.
like Sean's saying, if you're gonna keep it as a wine, then yeah, you're definitely going to use a different type of yeast that allows it to hold
Yeah.
its flavor and not taste like a nasty old ferment in the end because
Okay,
you're
that's what I was
distilling it.
curious about.
Yeah.
Like so, if I'm making a brandy and I want to keep some of that wine, then I'm going to use a different yeast because I'm going to keep some of the wine off the top before I run the rest. But if I'm just distilling all of it, man, I'm a bread yeast feller, man. I just dump bread yeast on the top and let it eat. So,
Oh.
but if you
Huh.
taste that mash after that bread yeast eats all that, you wouldn't want to drink that. You wouldn't want to drink it straight. It's
Oh gosh.
it's not a pleasant wine, but
No.
it'll make some damn fine shines, and that's
Yeah,
that's
there you
what I'm
go.
chasing. So,
Yeah. Remind me sometime. I'll share a story, but not now.
so do do you fortify any of your wine? Do you have any fortified wine?
No, I don't have a fortified wines yet. That's
Okay.
something. Actually, my other president, my son, I call him the president because he gets pretty demanding. He's demanding that I do a fortified wine. So,
Oh.
Now,
but
You'll be putting Shelly in the car even quicker.
that's right. That's right.
She loves fortified wine.
do you know that if you have to ferment it high, or they allow you to add distillate back into it?
Yeah, I think you could do it, and I think that's interesting. Good question, actually. But what I'm finding out is I can actually ferment it quite high.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so I can tell you this much is the higher alcohol content you take the wine, it takes some of the flavor out. So
Yep.
you've got to watch, and there's a balance. That's where, the art comes in, where,
Hmm.
what's too much, what's too much alcohol versus, not enough. And, the customers tell me, of course,
Yes,
but,
for sure.
but on the other hand, I think what you're saying is correct. Then you can bring in and fortify it. And, to me, if just talking here, I would say I would go with the lower end wine, or not as hot a wine. Instead of being
Yes.
14 or 16, make it around 10% and then fortify it back.
Yes.
If you're doing,
I was talking to the fella up at Versailles, Mike, when I was out there once, and he was telling me how for now he just ferments high. He ferments around 20% for his high proof wine,
yeah.
and then I started talking to him about adding distillate to it, and I was like, hey, man, what do you do with all your wine that just comes out to trash? And he's like, I filter it till it tastes good. I'm like, my
There
man.
you go. Right.
And I was like, have you ever thought about taking a bad batch and distilling it, using it to fortify? And he's like, I never have till now. So hopefully, it's been a couple years since I've been out there.
Right.
Shoot,
So
shoot
we're
back out there.
allowed, so by law, we can take it up. I think it's 20 or 22, I do
Mhm.
believe. So we're limited. We can't take it up to 30, okay? We
Yeah.
can't do that, but it's around 2022. I think it is around that, like what he's doing. He's telling you it's 20, so we can take it. If they came and tested that, he could be 22, but we can't
Yeah.
take it over 22. So
Gotcha.
Wow.
yeah, that would
Man,
be.
hey, you
That's,
when you
That's hot, man. That's
that's asking a lot
that's
out
some
of the
really hot
Louise.
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
That's
try
a
it, you're
short
like,
day.
wow, you're
That'll get
and
you beaten up with some
I,
sweat.
and
You know what I mean?
That's
I want to
yeah.
say he was taking some of it and aging it in a barrel, so he had some barrel
Sure.
aged wine. It was nice, like
Right.
so it's like,
Hmm.
and it's got alcohol, and for us liquor drinkers, I like that. I was like, ooh, this got some heat to it, man. I like this. It reminded me of being at home.
Well,
So
I got a good story on that end. So some of my first strawberry that I ever made, I made a half a dozen. Basically, it was a dozen batches, and I was just experimenting on different levels of alcohol and stuff. And I had this one particular barrel, and my daughter comes home, and this stuff was already aged out. Man, I'm telling you what, by the time she hit, it was probably about a year and a half old. And so I told her, I said, to go through the barrels and tell me what she thought and put little notes on each one of the tags, so I can get her thoughts. Well, that particular one, she gets down, I cannot feel my mouth. Her lips, man. Her lips were just number when she got done with them. But it was a good way. It was a heck of a good batch of strawberry, though. It was nice.
nice.
You boys would have liked her. So
So are you selling in any stores or anything like that yet, or are you planning on that, or
and I did early on. I had sold some in Wine Works, Mother Stewart's. I'm in and out of there, occasionally. So yeah, that's about it. That's another beast altogether. That's another business going off campus. So yeah, so
Well, from the
it's
looks of what you got going on out there, I bet you keep a pretty good rotation of those bottles because you got a pretty good business going out there. It seems a lot of foot traffic out at your the little winery, the
yeah.
little your little first of the month thing. And I thought I saw a sign where people can call and get bottles. So yeah, I think you've already you're pushing bottles as it is.
Oh man, it's crazy, I mean, of course, living here with the winery, but it's nothing to get a person a day. Just wanders in, see what's going on, and I meet with them, and they end up taking a bottle or two home. That's the fun part, It's just meeting all the people.
Well, it was kind of crazy. The couple from Middletown that was there on a Sunday, and they were on
Mhm.
their way up to another winery. So I bet you get a lot of that. They said they were cooped up, tired of being in the house, and hit the road on a Sunday.
It is. It's Sundays for Middletown people. For some reason, they like coming up here on Sunday, and we do get a lot of people out of Columbus, of course, and Springfield and around the areas. But yeah, we get people. We had some folks coming up, and I got this phone call, and they were headed. Well, it was from Wisconsin. I'm going, what's going on here? These people from Wisconsin, and they anyhow, they called me. They were like, she's calling me middle of Tennessee. They're at a distillery down there making their way. They wanted to make sure I was open. I was the only place open on Sunday, and they're on their way home. So yeah, it was like, hey, things like that. That's a lot of fun. So
Yeah. So what all kind of things you have? Because you had the open mic yesterday. That was a good time. That was real enjoyable. But do you do things through the summer?
yeah, so
Like
the open mic thing was actually, we've been trying to do the open mic. We just hadn't had the weather for the open mic. Just so we had the open mic guys there, and it all worked out. And then, but yeah, for first of the month, you were talking about that. So first Sundays of each month, we try to do a special event. We started doing it last year. We had farmers markets. So we're planning on this coming month. We'll probably have a food truck possibly, and probably have some type of entertainment. But then in April, we're going to try to start up the farmers market and have entertainment and a food truck. So those combinations for that first Sunday, we'll probably do that for the rest of the year, the balance of the year. It works out that way. I was trying to schedule stuff in between, and it just made so much sense the first Sunday. It was just, everybody's kind of like wants to come up and relax and have a good time. So
the first Sunday of every month, you have a thing.
yep, first Sunday of every month, we're doing a thing.
We'll put it on the calendar.
Well, there you go. You go, well, it's the first Sunday of the month. We got to go see Bob. There you go.
See you in
No
March.
problem.
Yep.
I'm sure
Absolutely.
Shelly will be good and recouped by then.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I should mention that
going
I
hard
do
on Shelly
believe
tonight.
that we'll make it official right now, but April, the first Sunday of April, which I think might be like the 6th, will be our official chili cook-off. So just get a hold of me. We're going to try to, it's probably like a $25 to enter your chili. Then after we get done with the chili, we're going to auction that off for charity. So make some even more money. So put it all in the pot.
Oh,
Are you
she's
looking
all
for
excited about
judges?
that.
Is somebody looking for
Always.
judges?
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
Man.
man.
I'm
Send
not
me
bad
your
man.
resume.
For
Just
you.
send me your resume, and I'll see what we can do. Yeah.
I'm hefty. I'm proved.
Hired.
That's right.
My question is Shelly going to make it through the whole day?
Well,
If you
if
don't
she's
want-
got chili going in her at the beginning,
Yeah, we got to get food
man,
in her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
She didn't eat. She didn't eat anything
if
Sunday.
you're gonna take your old lady out day drinking, you've got to make her put something in her belly.
Bob, I don't know if you realize she passed out in the car before I even got out
yes,
there.
you did.
I think I seen that. Yes, I do believe. Yeah. There you go.
That's awesome.
Hey, well, this weekend for all the gals and guys, I want that if anybody's on here, they can bring them out. This next weekend, we're going to do a sweets weekend. So I'm gonna actually make mini donuts, and we'll have like sprinkles and chocolate and all kinds of goodies to put on top of them. So
Is that
yeah.
on Sunday or?
yeah, we're going to do
Sunday?
that Saturday and Sunday. So all
Saturday.
weekend.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Early Valentine's Day trip. Let's see. Uncle
That's
Joey's
right.
got
Early
a wife.
Valentine's. Take the sweetie out.
Let's
You might as well
see.
start early, man. You might do something wrong come Monday.
Ola Masters has got a wife. She likes to drink. I guess we're gonna have to get Sean a date.
Oh, jeez.
So, I know a couple fellers. I got you, Sean.
You can't make enough whiskey to make it happen, man.
I don't know, man. I got 100 pounds of peaches sitting over here since I can.
100 pounds of peaches.
How much does it take to make Sean look good?
Oh, there ain't enough liquor in the world for that.
So
You know
how
what?
many years-
One
how many
flip of
years
a
has
light
the
switch
winery been
off.
open, Bob?
Say that again.
How many years has the winery been open?
So we've been open 6 years now.
Nice. And
Yeah.
how long do you think you made wine before you realized you needed to start selling it?
Well, it only took one batch.
Nice.
So my son, the story goes, my son comes home. He gets off the high school bus, so he ain't 16 yet. And he says, "Dad, we need to make some wine." I go, "Okay." I figured we are gonna do strawberry wine, but he wanted to do raspberry, so we did up a batch of red raspberry. And guys, yeah, I mean, you guys had it. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it tasted like the first time him and me made it. It's
Wow.
just, it sets up really nice.
You still
Yeah,
make it the same way as when you and him first made it.
No, it's really good. Yeah.
So that's what started
Yeah.
you off was the red raspberry. Then I mean,
Yeah,
that kinda
red
like,
raspberry is the foundation wine here. Yeah, yeah.
hey, nice.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best seller that you have? Is that
The
the red
best
raspberry?
seller, well, probably strawberry's probably the best seller, I'd say. Now
You
I
don't
tell
see a
people,
lot of strawberry wine around here, so
Mm.
no, you don't. You don't see the red raspberry dry, and you get a lot of the winos that come, especially the serious dry drinkers. They really like that red raspberry because they can't get it anyplace else.
Hmm.
So, but
I fell in love with that chocolate raspberry.
yeah, see, that's one of the new ones there. The chocolate raspberry. That's
the-
brand new. And when I was test mark or sending that through the quality control, that was getting high marks. So yeah,
I
it
liked
was. Yeah, we got that thing it's hitting it pretty nice. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Perfect amount of chocolate. Just nailed it.
If you
Well,
would run down your list of wines, Bob, so everybody knows what flavors you have out there. What fruits and flavors.
let's see. So dry wise, right now, I do have a Cabernet. I have a Shiraz. Chamberson's a local Ohio grape or a Midwest grape. That's a red grape also. Uh, I've had a white Vidal, but work probably this next week. I've got a batch of Itasca. Both of those are Midwest grapes or white grapes. That and the newest one's the Itasca. It's one of the actually it's one of the university grapes they released last. So it only's been on the market maybe 10 years, and for fruit in general, 10 years that's young. So but hopefully we'll have it ready to go. I'm hoping next weekend, so hopefully we'll be able to get it. But we've had it before, and it's a real popular white wine that we've had here. We usually sets up either between dry and semi-dry. So we got those. Then we go into the sweets. We talked about the strawberry, talk about blackberry. Now, the blackberries we raise here also. And yeah, and also we have that in the dry. Then we have the sweet honky tonk, which is the Catawba. And we have the Concord or red Concords. Then we get in the flavored wines and all those. A couple of you guys, well, you mentioned the red raspberry wine, sweet or chocolate, and chocolate strawberry. Then we got a chocolate blackberry. So we got those three chocolates. Then we have a strawberry rhubarb. Now somebody was hitting that pretty hard. One of you was getting that. That's really good.
That was Shelly.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what put her in the car.
There you go. There you go. And probably the one that probably stirred me on to getting this specialty wine thing was the blackberry peanut butter, and that's got some fans. I'm that's kind of fun actually. So
Like
yeah.
a peanut butter and
Yeah.
jelly kind of flavor.
Yeah, kind of the peanut butter and jelly. Yeah,
Wait,
exactly.
you didn't try it?
It was
So-
very
Oh.
dry. Yeah, it was an interesting.
Sean was late. We all tried it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So-
Easy
Imagine
did.
that.
So my spin on that, of course, is putting it with the blackberry versus a lot of people put it with the Concord. But having it with the blackberry, I've getting great reviews off of having it with the
Yeah.
blackberry. So, yeah,
You got to mix it up a little bit. Can't do the same thing as everybody.
exactly. I mean, who else? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, I got to do
Yeah.
blackberry. Hey, why? You know. And then my latest thing, and I think we were sampling some of that, is some of my mead wine. I've got a mead wine with the hops, so kind of like a light beer. So
High carbonated mead.
there you go, high carbonated mead.
Bob had to sneak that one off to the back and slide.
Is that
my
the only
goodness.
mead? Is that the only
We
mead
got to
you
get the
have?
carbonation right. We're not quite dialed in on the carbonation, so
It
How
was
are you-
tasty. I enjoyed it. It was light. It was very light on the palate. Real. The carbonation was it was a bit much, but it was good. It had a good flavor to it.
Yeah.
So how are you carbonating those? Are you using like a CO2 forced? Are you bottle carbonating?
So we're bottle carbonating right now.
Okay.
So we're doing that, but we've yet to try the CO2. I got a keganator to actually have that on tap too. So I think we're probably gonna go ahead and move that way. But yeah, do it in the bottles. Yeah, I got to do it both ways. I think we're gonna try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
To answer your question.
The bottle can be, difficult to get it consistent.
Yeah.
It just a little bit of one way or another. I don't know what you're using to carbonate. Like when we do hard cider, we use corn sugar, and we sprinkle a little corn sugar in, and
Right.
we seal it off and let it do its thing. I'm hoping that when you use the CO2, that you'll be able to get your consistency to the way you love it. So I'm really intrigued on how that will help you dial in your carbonation level.
Well, maybe you're gonna have to come over and help me.
I was going to say, Bob, Big Easy knows his way
I'm
around.
just saying.
Wine.
I'm just saying. Yeah. No, it's
I know some way around some wine. You're right.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
No, it
Brandy's
ought to
and
be all
wine.
interesting, and we've got it's kind of interesting too when we bottle it. See what we're afraid of. We put that in the regular wine bottles, it might break it. But these small wine bottles I have are the highest grade or pressure that you can have of any bottle that you can buy. So
Nice.
we can put a lot of pressure.
It's we always made sure we used like the old Grolsch bottles that had the crimp tops on them. That way they lock the lock tops. Because we did some beer once, and they it was a little too overcarbonated. When you're putting them caps on, you know what ends up happening.
I'll tell you, those little bottles, man, they're the perfect size to drink out of.
Yeah, they're great for hard cider.
Yeah, those little bottles Bob's got are nice. They are good bottles of wine size. They're perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then you make you had a nice hot apple drink out there. I don't know, was that an apple cider? What, that was pretty tasty.
Yeah, so we were doing that during the wintertime, a mull wine. So it was a spicy apple in the cider. Yeah, and that's cider. I make the cider too. I work the cider also. So yeah, it's all the way around. It's my mix. So yeah, we put that in a crock pot and serve that up. So yeah.
You ever thought about putting any ciders on your menu?
Well, we have, and that's where it gets back, like say everybody wants to be something different, and we can have, get too many in the lineup. So I've already got like 2 other people that are like fairly close doing ciders, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Good apple cider, man. A hard apple cider is fantastic.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing like a good hard apple cider. So
I mean, we got apples all around our area. So.
Yeah, we in Apple Valley, man. I tell all these people, like, oh yeah, I picked up a truck full of apples for $100. Like, are you serious? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, they needed them gone, man. What am I supposed to do?
I'm just not talking to the right guys, man. I got a friend that he's in the apple business. I was talking to him. He goes, dude, it says I get rid of every apple. I go, well, good for you. So there you go.
Man, that place up in St. Paris was giving away apples there at the end of the season.
Well, I have to keep on. I need to branch out. I need to see these people.
Uncle Joe didn't tell us about that. He must have kept
hold it out.
Well, listen, they posted it, and then I didn't see it till late, and everybody was at work. They did it like on a weekday, so we'll have to pay better attention next year. Yeah, they were giving them away at the end of the year.
Oh my goodness!
Where at?
You'll see these.
We'll talk about it off. There was that orchard that we went to this year with the grandkids. I can't remember the name of it.
All these orchards at the end of the year, man.
You guys better keep that hush. Everybody will. Then it'll be sell them all.
It's all.
Why?
It's all over the place.
It's like a secret fishing hole.
Yeah.
But they would rather give them away than let them rot because there's nothing they can do with them.
But well, you
So-
mentioned the apple thing. Now we didn't talk about peaches, and I do have peaches coming. I usually during the summer months I have a peach wine, so
Nice.
I've had peach wine probably for the last 4 years.
Let me
And
let me
actually,
get them
this is
leftover
going to be a
peaches.
brand new batch of peach wine. So yeah, I'm excited about it coming on.
Let me,
So I know Ohio is also the dandelion capital of the world. I feel like you ever make any dandelion wine? I know
I was going to ask that myself.
oh man,
Tuck and Red's down in Yellow Springs. makes the
Okay,
dandelion
just
I ain't-
for
wine.
you guys, maybe
ain't
I'll bust up a bucket of dandelion wine. We'll see.
Oh,
what we can
thank
do.
you.
what you're
Thank
supposed to say, Bob, is if you pick it, I'll ferment it. That's the Sean line.
See,
If
that
if
again,
you prep
yeah, we'll
it,
talk about that afterwards. I didn't see. I said I would make it. I didn't say nothing about picking anything.
my man, that's how it is.
I'm way too old to be picking dandelions.
Before we get too
Right.
far
Yeah.
in, after you're done fermenting those peaches, just go on ahead and save what's left over and let me have it.
There you go. There you go.
Let me reuse all those peaches when you're done with them.
I think I'm gonna have to start like putting out bids on all those that extra peach that that's going to come about. I think
All the
that might be a
leftovers?
thing too. Yeah, the leftover, put bids out on it or something.
I trade back.
There you go. There you go.
I'm easy to go along with.
High bid right there.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. Supply and demand, guys. But no, we got
Yeah.
that going on, and then like I said, we'll have the. I think really, truly, like you guys were saying, I think the mead wine is going to be a good seller for me this summer. I really believe that. You guys got a good
Oh, yeah.
response out of it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I seen it this weekend, and a
You know,
lot of beer drinkers come in here. They'll enjoy that.
That
Something
was
for them to have.
my first thought when I taste that. It's like, ooh, that'd be refreshing in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of people would say you're in the middle of nowhere, but you're kind of in the middle of a lot of things. You got Catawba, you got Urbana, you got Mechanicsburg, Springfield.
Easy access from Columbus.
Yeah.
Well, we are right exactly in the middle between Columbus and Dayton here. So it's 35 either way. So it's just crazy that it works that way. But
And
yeah.
35 minutes is one of those. I'll jump in the car and do 35. You know what I mean? That's nothing.
Hey, we're just a short country drive. So,
So
When
what's
you
go ahead, Easy.
all right, when you go to expand your meat, are you going to do a mellow mel?
say that again.
A mellow mel. It's where you make mead with fruit. That's what you take. Like if you was to take your mead, your honey, and you ferment it with say peaches or blackberries. That's called a mellow mel.
You're getting into the next stages. I'm trying to get this beer down, or I mean that.
Hey, super! It's easier than the beer. You know what I'm saying?
See, he's thinking ahead. See, that's the other discussion for the next Sunday that you come.
Next Sunday. All right. Well, when I come the first time.
Yeah.
So.
That's right.
We can get him
Okay.
to show up.
Well, see,
Okay.
look, if I would have came, we would still be there talking liquor and wine and shit. To this day, my wife would be mad at me because I'm still there talking. And like I get rolling, man, and it's like 3 hours. Like she refuses to go to Sean's with me for me to pick up anything. I'm like, I just got to go by there and grab this one thing. It's going to be 5. It's not going to be 5 minutes. It's going to be 2 hours. You right, babe, but I'm not going to admit to it. Like, we're almost done. She's like, what'd you talk about? Like, I don't remember. And then we head on.
See, this is what guys don't realize. See, is that you can come here and satisfy the wife and still, get a nice buzz going. I mean, I don't know.
That's what we'll do. Even then, but even still, like no matter how long we're there, at the end, I'm still just talking. We're just talking liquor and wine and alcohol, and I can't help myself. And it was like when we was headed down to Gatlinburg for Duck's release, and we stopped in the Bruisers for 5 minutes to talk to
5
Bruiser
minutes.
for 5 minutes. It was an hour and a half we was in there.
We ate our whole lunch. at a restaurant right down the road while they were talking to Bruiser.
That's
And
crazy.
I'm just talking. You got Matt and Wes are just sitting there listening to me and Bruiser. We're talking
Yeah.
copper. We're talking liquor. It's like I want to go and listen to somebody else talk.
So, what's your favorite wine to make?
Well, that's a good question, and there's another question in there too. And uh, I found out because when I was making the fruit wines, and the fruit wines are quite challenging, and strawberries probably it is my favorite probably to make, but it's the most difficult one to make, and I'm getting it down pretty solid now. But when you get the grape wines, and it's funny when you go to the talk with the other grape people, they're not making fruit wines. In To me, making a grape wine so much easier. They finish quicker. You don't have to babysit them as long, and the strawberry can be 3 to 4 times longer anyhow than anything in the harder one I do.
So,
So yeah, it gets a little bit more complex and timely and things I
how
got to
long
watch for.
how long generally does it take for a wine to finish out, and like from start to finish? Would you say from picking the fruit to fermenting it and everything that you do? How long would you say it takes from start to finish?
Yeah, that's another good question. If I picked it, because I'm picking my fruit when it's ripe. So from that could be a 3 week 3 to 4 week window, like with the blackberries, red raspberries. There's actually 2 seasons, about 2 weeks apiece, so that's 4 weeks there. But they're so far apart, and but the strawberries, the way I have my strawberry production, I moved it from the June bearing strawberries to a summer producing strawberry, and we pick them all summer. So I'm picking, I'll pick 20 to 30 pounds of strawberries a week, up to 50 pounds a week, and then once we collect all those, I'm freezing the majority of all these fruits, and then once I collect them, I bring them back in and do my batch. And from this time I, uh, throw the pitch, it could be 2 to 3 weeks fermenting, and really, I'll say, yeah, really good hard fermenting, and then it softens out, it tails off, and it'll keep on fermenting maybe another 3 4 weeks possibly. Some of it does take that long. It's amazing sometimes. The grape wines don't seem to tail off that long, but the fruit wines do. And then uh, and all the wines are last sweet honky tonk. It's like a 6 month turnaround for me. Some of the other
But
grape wines might be a year. The strawberries and I've got stuff that's, well, like what you're drinking. It's 2 years old now. So
Wow.
Okay.
yeah,
you gotta let
Right.
let it rack, let it sit. I think a lot of guys that make wine at home, they expect it to be fantastic right when you make it, and that's just not the case, man. That's why I say age like a fine wine. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let it pay. You gotta be patient. It's kind of like a bourbon. You're not gonna put liquor in a barrel and pull it out the next day. And it'd be a nice break. It's gotta wait, man. Just be patient.
Well, but you're right. But that's where I'm better today than when I first started. I wanted to, you want to get to that end product, 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, and it's still not there, and you just got to hold off, and you got to let things settle out, and they do. They, for the most part, things do improve. The taste, and you guys like what I got going on, but that was kind of a theme this weekend. Is because we got the meat here now, and I think you guys were talking about a little bit, but everybody wants to make a batch of meat at home, and and one gentleman here says, "Yeah, well, it takes 4 weeks for it to, till I'm able to drink it." And I'm walking away. I'm thinking, I'm laughing about it.
4
I'm
weeks.
thinking 4 weeks. That's nothing, man. It's like try 4 years.
You
With some of
go,
these wines.
Speedy.
You could drink it in 4 weeks, but you're going to be a lot happier if you drink it in 4 years. It's just
Oh,
one of
no
those,
doubt.
one of those things you got to
yeah.
let age and let
Yeah.
that flavor come back out in it. Do you do any barrel aging of your wine? Do you age any of your wine in oak barrels?
Thank you, Easy.
As
That was
of
my next question.
no, as of yet, no. I mean, it's kind of it's a room issue. It's more about
Okay.
the space. Yeah. And
What if somebody brought you a 10-gallon barrel and was like, "Here you go"?
but that could probably work. Yeah, I could see doing something like
Nice.
that. If someone gave me a 10-gallon barrel, heck yeah.
I might know a feller's got an extra one.
There you go.
We're
There you
gonna
go.
find out. We're gonna find out. So,
There you go. Sounds good.
Have you thought about doing mulberries? Mulberries are everywhere in this region.
I haven't,
doing
but I
mulberry.
have not. I have not done them yet. But you're probably right. That would probably be a good one. I think there's some good things about mulberries other than just being local.
Last
They're-
year,
Well-
I bought a press off a guy, a fruit press,
Mm-hmm.
and he brought up mulberries, and he said they're phenomenal.
Real similar to a blackberry. I find to be a lot more earthier than the blackberry. So they got a little more earthiness to them. And because I did a blackberry mixed drink, moonshine mixed drink, and I noticed that the blackberry is just so much more earthier or the mulberry is so much more earthier than the blackberry. The blackberry is more tangy and sweet. So they definitely have their own same characteristics. So I would be intrigued as to a nice fine wine.
The one that I have to get done, and I haven't started this wine yet, is my current wine. And I'll bet you, I think it's going to be pretty delicious, but to probably distill that stuff, you're going to be even better. I believe that. I think that's going to be an interesting product to distill, to be honest with you, because it's got such a strong forward flavor to it. It's got a unique bite to it. It's pretty cool.
When to circle back to your strawberry wine, when we distill strawberries, there's it's more likely it's going to come out hot. And that's what a lot of people come into. Do you find that when you're fermenting your strawberries, if you do them a certain way, that your end product could be kind of hot?
Hot, and you mean alcohol? You mean?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, if you was to, like, when you was first learning, experiment with strawberries, did you have a process that you didn't like because you felt like it was too hot, like lip nubby?
Yeah, I think, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's strawberry. It's definitely a product. I think that you have to keep it, 12 or lower % alcohol. I really believe that. Again, you get that wine or up to 16 or something. That gets. I like it. I know the flavor's slightly there, but that gets really hot.
Liquor drinkers like it hotter, So like people that like liquor,
it's like liquor hot, yeah.
Yeah, but the ladies, they don't like that, and that's your market. That's who you're selling to. So
that's who we're selling to.
So if you were to barrel some wine, would you want to barrel it a little higher proof wine, or how would that work? Was there would it matter?
That's how I would probably, that's what I'm finding out and talking to my colleagues and stuff, that some of these, it's just even some of the grapes can't take a real high end of alcohol. I'll be honest with you, it's like my red raspberry. Red raspberry, its flavor is really flavorful, even at the higher levels of alcohol. It can handle it very well. At least my red raspberry can. I can't say that about every variety of red raspberry out there. But now that I think of it, even the strawberry that I have today, the variety that I'm using here at the farm, I'm able to take it probably maybe a point higher than what I could have with some of the other berries I ever raised. because it's just, you got to have the flavor. You just got to have that nice, bold flavor at first. And we were talking about that. I think that's what's different about my wines too, is I like that boldness. I don't want to, I work too hard out in the field tending all these fruits. I want to bring it out to everybody.
It's
I don't
like
want to
making
take
a
it away.
brandy, man. I worked my ass off on that jar of brandy. I want it to have as much nose and flavor in it as possible. You know,
Darn right.
you don't want to hand somebody a vodka and be like, oh, okay.
Hey, you don't want to
there's nothing
sissy
here.
it, man. Don't sissy it down. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So about going into your barrels, you see when like they put liquor in barrels, it loses some proof over time. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see why you'd want to go a little higher if you're putting your wine into said barrel. That way, if it does drop a little bit over the aging process, that it's not going to be really, really, really low. It's still going to have its.
Oh no!
It's full
I
character.
haven't seen it really drop that much over time. I'll be honest with you. Maybe it's how I'm doing it, but yeah, it's. I'll give you the example. That stuff like the barrel, the batch that my daughter drank. I mean, that stuff again was 2 years old, and I left it set another year, thinking maybe what you're saying. Maybe I could get it mellowed out a little bit more. It was still relatively hot, so. But it was awful. It was smooth, man. It was nice and smooth strawberry. So yeah.
Now, I would think one of the challenges with aging wine in a barrel is it has to be in a temperature controlled area because like more than it'll freeze. We'll play around here in the wintertime, you know what I'm saying? Like we just went through a week of negative. So I could see how, barrel aging wine for a winery is a lot different than who was we talking to? Old Fred up at Lake Erie Distillery. He's like, oh, I got shipping containers out back full of barrels. They just sit out there.
There you go.
And no matter what the temp is, it just fluctuates. So I could see how, aging wine is definitely an added challenge for you because it's got to be a temperature control in the wintertime.
So yeah, the gentleman I was telling you about in Wisconsin that I worked with, his winery there, he actually had a cave. He rented this facility, and it had a cave. It stayed at 55 all year round. It was perfect. It couldn't have had it any better.
Now, my question about that is like, when you're aging, we invite the seasons, we invite those temp swings and big changes. So I'm wondering how his end product is, just one maintained temperature the whole time, as opposed to, we ride a roller coaster here.
I would say it's probably more consistent.
Yes,
probably better. Yeah.
So what we did, this is a long one, or I'll try to shorten it up. So we were on a vacation out to Iowa at a hog show. So I took some product, to set, with the other hog people, and had a good time. But I had the red raspberry, and I did have a little bit of trouble with some of them reactivated. We kept it out in the trailer, and it got too damn hot. So by the time I got home, I was okay. I was all right. It all remained in the bottle, but I put that stuff right in the cooler. And oh my gosh, it was almost like it became somewhat buttery in taste.
Nice.
We had it probably about 3 months later, about 90 days after that. But yeah, it was phenomenal stuff. Really smooth.
It's crazy how things change. Just one small mistake can be fantastic,
or it can be terrible.
Yeah, it can be terrible.
There you go.
You learned a lot. So
that's how it works for me.
As long as you ain't dealing with paste, you'll be all right.
Hey, we're not talking about all of my bad situations. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, there are no bad situations. Just
never.
Learning experiences.
That's right.
So I saw somebody ask a question about a favorite yeast to use.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of them, and they're top secret stuff. I can't. My other colleagues, man,
Hey, we all got certain secrets we don't divulge to the masses. Like I'm pretty free about most things, but there's a couple things I'm like, ask Sean.
But I'll tell everybody that's the fun thing about making the product is finding that that niche, right where where it all comes together. Yeah. makes
I was
all.
going to ask you earlier, did you go through a lot of yeast experimentation along your way of winemaking to
Yeah,
where you find the
sure,
one, or
sure.
have you had that one dialed in for a
Oh
while?
yeah,
Or
oh yeah, oh yeah. You got you go through it, go through them all, and
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, there are hundreds. There's 100 different type of wine
Yep.
yeasts out there,
We're
and it's
spoiled
just nuts.
nowadays. Like, we are definitely spoiled nowadays. Just like for you, Uncle Joey, as a beginning distiller, I recommend you get you a smorgasbord of yeast. Try them all, see which ones that you like the best and the flavor you like the best, and see which one works best for you, and then you could stick with that, And because what works best for you ain't gonna work best for Sean. Sean can't ferment in a 5-gallon bucket,
right?
but don't mean you can't. You know what I'm saying? Hell, like, I know how to work a hoe.
Yeah, you do.
Sean just knows how to watch. We all got our
Hey,
thing.
Big Sturge, you guys taught Big Sturge how to work a hoe.
We did. We did. That was a good day.
Yeah.
That was a good day.
But
We had a good time.
But no, we got a lot of things going on this year, guys. That we're really looking forward to. With all these new different flavored wines, we're starting to market out here, and like you guys are saying, I'm kind of like a diamond in the rough. I really appreciate you guys talking about that, and we're just a little. And I guess that was the one thing I thought when I opened it up, I was going to sell case after case, would leave here, and I'd be so. That wasn't the case. It just kind of sold a few bottles here, a few bottles this weekend, and it's all just built up. And
Well,
actually, that ride has been much better. To be honest with you, that's been a cool ride so far. So
Well,
it's just like anything else. If you make a quality product, then word of mouth is going to spread and it's going to sell itself. So
Yeah.
Well,
you start small and big.
The cool thing about Springfield, I have to say, we've done a lot of growing in the last handful of years, and there's a lot of opportunities for farmers, producers, growers to get their products out there. They have in the springtime, there's an outdoor market. They have a farmers market that they have a lot of people. I see a lot of Champaign County vendors there, a lot of farmers with cheese and beef and all kinds of stuff. And then the Mother Stewart's, the winery or the
Sure.
brewery, they do a market too. So they really give you guys a lot of opportunities to sell your product. It's really awesome.
Oh, it does. And those are the type of people that come out here. And I didn't expound, and since you brought up the farmers market thing, but see, I was one of the very first farmers at the Springfield Farmers Market when it reopened back up this last time, back there in the early 200 in the aughts, as we call it, in the aughts there.
Right.
So yeah. But we took our strawberries and red raspberry and everything. We sold it all, man. Me and my kids, and it was quite the deal. So,
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, Gordon, if you're in Columbus, man, you're not that far from him.
Yeah.
You should let us
then
know.
we switched to Columbus guys. That's when then we got real serious in the farmer. We did 5 to 6 farmers markets every week during the summer.
Nice.
We did 3 just on Saturday alone. When we were hitting it hard. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, we were busy.
I know I'm looking forward to coming out when it gets warm because you got a beautiful atmosphere out there. Just the scenery. It's
sitting
just
there.
gorgeous.
Listen, I bet in the summertime out there where we sat inside, right out there on the outside, that view in the evening would just be amazing.
Oh,
Sit out there in a chair with a bottle of wine and maybe a cigar or something to smoke. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Although it is beautiful
the
for me.
sunsets, we get such, that's the other thing too, is our sunsets from where we sit, we're at the top of the valley here, where, Springfield's like 300-400 feet less than we are. But anyhow, man, our sunsets are so long. It's just so incredible.
You have a nice view out there, man. You got a nice place going on. You really do. I'm glad I stumbled upon it. I'm glad I was able to share it with these guys, and I'm also glad we can share it with everybody, man. Everybody that's listening, and everybody I can talk to that likes wine. Please go check out Bob's place out there at Folck Family Winery.
Please come on out. That sounds great.
Don't be surprised if you don't see us there Saturday.
There you go. There you go. Guys, I
Valentine's
totally
Day.
appreciate the time I shared with you
Yes,
guys.
sir,
It's
Bob. We
always a
appreciate you, man.
pleasure with all of you. So
Anytime.
We appreciate you giving us
Yeah.
the time, man. We've had everybody here long enough. We appreciate everybody listening. You guys want to check
hey,
out
we'll have to
Bob?
do a live event out here during the summer.
There
You
we
know
go.
what?
Sounds good to me.
We can do that.
I know a group that likes to do lives.
There you go. We can have taste testers and the whole thing. There you go.
Yeah, but they
Sorry,
like to
guys.
run customers off. So
Yeah, it'll be all right. We'll run them off afterwards. But all right,
yeah.
Bob, thanks you so much for giving us your Monday night.
Yes, thank
Everybody,
you.
we appreciate y'all. If you got any questions, let us know. We'll be back next week with another guest. We're gonna have a good time and learn a lot. So, and I will say, we're coming up on our 100th episode. Our 100th episode is going to be on the 24th. So,
Is it?
I didn't think we was going to make it that far, but we did. We're there. So
the
we're gonna do
24th of this month.
yes, so this month we might do something a little different, but all right, y'all have a good time, man. We'll see y'all next week.
See you later,
your
man.
week. Stay warm.
Thank you.
Love all y'all.
Thanks,
Shine
Bob.
on.
Thank you.
Peace out.